So recently, I went out on a backpacking trip at the Little River State Park in Oklahoma, close to the OKC metro area. It's a little bit east of Norman, if you know where that is. If I have any Okies, really suggest that trail if you're a beginner. It's like 10 miles, a long loop. You have 4 different loops. You can start out with like a 1.5 mile, and then it just builds up on itself. And so it's a really good trail if you're getting started as a beginner trail. And I was taking someone out on their very first backpacking trip. I was testing some new gear, so we stayed the night even though it wasn't strictly necessary. And that's when our issues started. So, first day, trail was clear. The bridges we went over were sturdy. There wasn't just tons of people out, but there was still a few people. And it's nice seeing other people out sometimes. If you're trying to get away from people, this is still a fairly traveled trail. Once you get to the gold loop with it, which quote unquote is the expert level, it's more of like a moderate in my opinion, but the little map says it's the expert level loop. It is it's probably the hardest out of all the loops except Blue. There's a spot on Blue where the trail just like disappears for a while, and then you have to just keep walking straight and you run back across it. And it's only a few hundred feet, so it's not horrible. It's kind of startling because you'll be walking and then the trail just slowly diminishes to nothing. Just follow the clearing at that point if you do the Blue loop. But the gold loop, fairly well walked. It's not like the nicest trail I've ever been on, but it's not horrible. It's all the deadfalls picked up from off the trail. There's a really pretty view. It loops around near Lake Thunderbird, and you're basically on the bank for a while, and it's just beautiful views. We camped right by the bank, and there's sailboats and stuff. It's a cool thing. There's pretty good fishing along the trail, the parts that are near the lake. So if you're looking for like a fishing spot that almost no one goes to, that's on Lake Thunderbird. That's a good place because you have to walk like 5 to 6 miles to get to the lake, and so not a whole lot of people are going to be willing to do that, and so it's just a very secluded spot. Otherwise, the second day was miserable, and that was not the trail at all. That was us, because we didn't sleep well during the night. So we went to bed at 7, which was fairly early. We got to camp fairly early. And so went to bed at 7, the fire was out, yada yada. And we both, my friend and I, we both slept till about 9. And at 9, we both wake up and we see this like blue flashing and stuff, and I'm pretty sure that's what woke us up. And I thought it was an LED at first because there wasn't supposed to be any storms and we weren't hearing rumbling. But it was lightning of the supercell that was heading directly towards us. And so we started getting up because we didn't really bring rain flies or anything. I know, stupid us, we didn't go prepared. Yada yada, just put it in the comments, I don't care. But so we didn't bring rain flies, and so we were getting up and we are just going to wait out the storm basically. And we put our everything back into our packs, and we started noticing this rustling noise around our camp, and we realized there were wild dogs like around our campsite and getting closer and closer. And that's normally not a big deal. You get them some in Oklahoma, but so we decided to start a fire to kind of keep them back a little bit, and it turned into they were staying right outside the ring of the light. And so we made a big bonfire with a bunch of deadfall, and we didn't get very much sleep. The storm passed, we put our hammocks back up, we went to bed, slept probably 4 more hours, and then had to get up and finish the trail. But because it's well kept and fairly well marked, it wasn't horrible, but it was just, I don't know how to explain it. It was just like we had to force ourselves to do it. It wasn't enjoyable at that point. But all in all, good story, fun trail. We hung our food and everything. If you bring a tent or a hammock, if the wild dogs are still there, which I doubt they are, they're probably just passing through, they won't mess with you. There's not like bears or anything because it's the middle of Oklahoma. So any of y'all that are watching this from other places in the US or North America or the world, in fact, it's a cool trail. I wouldn't travel more than probably a state away to get to it, but that's just me personally. Hopefully fairly soon we'll go do Eagle Rock Loop in Arkansas. I like that trail, and when I went, I didn't see the beagle, and there's supposed to be like this mystical beagle that lives out there and will like come up and get food from you at your camp, and that just sounds like really cool. So that's pretty much all I have to ramble on about. Fun trail, had a good time. Oh, one last thing. My Arrows premium pillow made by Sea to Summit. It's a size large in green. It like broke while I was out there. Not the valve, nothing I did. It was just like in the middle of the face part. It got a fairly big hole in the liner, and so I blew it up and I put it into my hammock. And when I sleep on my side in my hammock, I like a pillow. When I sleep on my back, I don't. So I put it in because I didn't know how I was going to sleep that night. And lo and behold, I put my head on it, and in about 15 seconds, the thing was completely deflated. But company's great. They make an awesome product. Sea to Summit, I contacted them, and they're willing to send me a new one, which it should be like being sent any day now, and then out of their warehouse in Boulder, Colorado. Great company, great customer service, highly recommend them. Just love their products. I was sleeping in a hammock, the Roo, and love it, comfortable, better than Eno in my opinion, and better than quite a few of the others. I use the Python strap so you can get with it, and love the system. I love Kamek in general as a company. The one thing you have to understand about companies for equipment like this is you want a good product. It doesn't have to be the absolute lightest, best, titanium, super lightweight, yada yada yada. It doesn't have to be the very top of the line $400 for a spoon sort of thing. But if you get something that maybe it's a little more pricey, but it's a good product, it's reliable. But the company you're buying it from has a really good reputation for customer service. You're going to be happier with the product because you'll know that, hey, even if there's a malfunction and that you didn't cause, you can get it replaced, or you can get your money back. Or if you tear it or something, just in general use, a lot of times if it gets damaged prematurely and you're using it correctly, you can get money back, or you can get a lot of help from the customer service on how to repair it or how to go about getting it repaired. And so I pay attention more to customer service and the price and quality ratio instead of just quality, because you can get a good example is Grants vs. Brooks small forest axe versus the Atween. I forget which axe it is. Whatchamacallit? One of the YouTubers I watch made a video about it, and the Atween axe, it's a $400 axe, and he got it, pulled it out of the package, used it a little bit, and the head came loose. And the company gave him a refund and stuff, but that was the one they sent for testing to be shown and advertised by this dude. I just don't remember his name. It'll be in the description though, because I don't want to not credit him. And so it's a $400 axe. You can buy it $400, and you get it, and it's manufactured not very well, and it got through all the checks and stuff before it got to you. The Grants vs. Brooks, you don't have a guarantee on the handle, but the handles can break, but in my experience, it's a very nice handle. The head is well made. They leave the scale on. It's not polished up at all except the edge. It's got a very nice edge out of the box. It's got a nice finish. It comes with a linseed oil finish on the wood. And I like that axe a lot, because one of their big things is they're sending it to you, and the head, they haven't dressed up or polished or anything. And the idea is that they're proud of their work, even if it might not be as pretty. They're proud of their work, and they don't want to hide it, and they aren't afraid to show little imperfections, because they know it's a solid product. But that's just my ramblings for the day. Hopefully I'll be making more videos. Remember, like, subscribe, follow, whatever floats your boat. Comment, video requests, or feedback is always great, because I start getting an idea of what you guys want to see. My channel's still very small, so every share, comment, like, follow really matters. But hopefully I'll be able to post some more videos soon. Thanks. I'm out.